Hey, fifth grade, it's Mrs. Gassaway, and we're still on module one, and that only has to do with the reading book. That doesn't have to do with like modules in Canvas. And we're on week 3, and what you're going to need today is your My Book, this book, and you're going to need to turn to page 56 in your My Book. And you're also going to need Canvas. So today is day 1. We're going to go over our standard and objective, our vocabulary. Today's going to be kind of a long day because we got to go over vocabulary and genre and what an inference is and our success criteria. And I'm going to show you how I do it. So today our objective is I will be able to make inferences and use text evidence. And you could see our standards there that go with Indiana, what we need to learn each year. Okay, it's Monday, so it's Critical Vocabulary Day. These words are going to be in our story, and throughout the week in your quizzes every day, I am going to put vocabulary in there, and then on Friday, we are going to have not only your assessment over what we've learned this week, but also a vocabulary test. So here are words: passionate, it's to have a strong feeling or emotion. Impulse is the desire to do something. Distinguished, a distinguished group is known and respected for its excellence. So like Southport Elementary, we're a distinguished school. We're known for our excellence. Eccentric, it's maybe someone who's kind of odd. Maybe you know someone like that. Maybe you are that person. I know I am. Circumstances are events that happen, or the causes of it are the circumstances. Evidently, if something happened evidently, it happened for an obvious reason. Acceleration is the act of moving faster. Prototype. A prototype is a rough model created to test something before creating its final form. So it's like the original, like just what you're inventing. The first time you've tried it is the prototype. Contribution, a person who helps to make something has made a contribution. My contribution to the meal was a big green salad. My contribution to virtual learning is to make slides and make all those other things for you. And conceived, it's a thought or idea that you think about yourself. The artist conceived a wand-shaped sculpture. So I would go back to slides 6 and 7, and they're in our slides the rest of the week as well. You need to go back to the critical vocabulary because this will be on your test on Friday. And this week, we're going to read Captain Arsenio. And that's what we're going to be reading all week. There's only one story this week. And this is the genre or the type of story this is. It's called a fantasy. They are imaginative stories that contain characters and events that are not real. Okay, last week it was informative and our characters were actual real humans. But this week it is fantasy. Someone has made this up. And to be a fantasy, you have to have these things. You have to have a plot. There's a conflict, a resolution, and a conflict is a problem, and the resolution is how you solve it. We'll get more into that this week, but you need to know that. Fantasy stories often include sensory details and figurative language. So sensory details are like smell, taste, what you see going on around you. And then setting, we know, is the place, and characters are the people or things in the story. Fantasy stories may include illustrations that describe or characters and setting to give clues about the plot. And I will tell you this about our story. It is a longer story, it's more pages, but this whole page is just a picture. Do you see that? So yeah, there's more pages, but there's way more pictures. So today in our success criteria for our inferences, you're going to read parts of the story. In your book, you need to be taking notes. because you can write in your book, and then you're going to see what inferences we can make from the text, and you're going to use your text evidence to support your inferences. So let's talk about an inference real quick. What are some things you notice and wonder? I'm going to give you a minute. Pause right here. Okay, I notice some of the same things you do. I notice that you have to use clues. I always say you use what you know, you use what you read, and you put them together. So you use what you already know about something. So like plants. I know a lot of things about plants already from my life. And then I might read a book about plants. And then when I put it together, that's called an inference. So authors don't tell you everything. You have to fill in some details. So let's practice. Let's look at this first picture of the 3 kids, and they look like they're in school. And what are some things you see? I see an umbrella. I see rain boots and raincoats, and it looks like there's water on the floor. So what can we infer? What inference can we make? That it's raining outside. Now let's look at the second picture. The author isn't telling us what's happening in this picture. We have to fill it in. Okay, what do I already know? I know that when I played softball growing up, that when we would win a game, our coach would take us to get ice cream or a pizza party. And I see that they're wearing hats and uniforms, and there's a trophy. That's what I see in my text. Hats, uniforms, trophy. So I'm going to put it together. I'm going to make an inference. They just won their game, or maybe even a tournament, because they have a big trophy. And now they are celebrating they're having a pizza party. So that's what an inference is. So I'm going to model for you how to make an inference and support it with text evidence. So the result of looking up. Flight, one of the most ancient wishes ever known, has inspired hundreds of fantastic creations. From Icarus to the Wright brothers, history has seen thousands of adventurers who have felt the dangerous urge to soar with the birds. This passionate impulse has resulted in many failures. Scientists and philosophers, doctors, and even crazy people all have been pioneers of aviation, and each have made a different contribution, sometimes right, sometimes wrong, to the pursuit of flight. This is the story of one such man. So I'm thinking, what inferences can I make about this guy? This guy is passionate. I think from what I know, a lot of people have wanted to fly before, and it says sometimes right, sometimes wrong, the pursuit of flight. So I'm thinking our character, Arsenio, is wanting to make a contribution to flight. So I'm going to say, what inferences can I make? I think our main character is going to try to fly. He might make a flying machine. I know this because the text said the pursuit of flight, and also this is the story of one such man. Okay, what are some things you saw me do? What's some thinking? I read the text. I'm making inference notes. You can't see it, but I have it written down here in my book. Did I use text evidence? Yeah. There's 2 sentences, but I could say a lot of people tried to fly. And so this man is trying to fly too. Remember today, I've put in your quiz that you need longer sentences, maybe even paragraphs, because we're beefing it up because we're going to start writing soon and you need longer paragraphs. You can't just say fly. That's one word. I need a sentence, okay? So I think our main character is going to try to fly. Or I could have even made it better, and I could have said, Captain Arsenio will try to fly. So, went over our success criteria. How are you feeling right now? Are you excited? Are you angry? So, now in our slides, it's the you do. It's your turn. I need you to read pages 59 through 72 in your My Book. And then you can click here, and it'll take you to our Canvas quiz. I want you to look at this. Today it's worth 4 points, and I want to show you it really quick. Look, what is one inference you made from page 59? So you need to look on page 59 and give me an inference. Explain in 4 or more sentences. How many sentences? 4 or more. And you won't get the full point if you only give me 2 sentences. I promise you that. What is one inference that you made from page 60? So you got to go to page 60 and 61. You need 4 sentences. Okay. So it tells you what page, and it tells you to make an inference. If you have any questions, email or call. Happy Monday. Talk to you later.